Hello guys, it's Ethnic Green Living here, and I'm super excited because today I'm here to talk about 15 things that you must have on hand and that you really need to have in your pantry, especially at a time like this, with this virus and stuff going around. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I am a homeschooling mommy of 5, and we are just starting out our plant-based homestead here on our new property. So I have documented the entire journey from the very beginning with building the chicken coop and with the coops, with canning, with the roses, with the land tour, etc. So make sure you go back and check that. And if you haven't already, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe this video, because it will help my channel grow and I can continue to share the message that you can do a lot with a little. So the first thing that you need to have on hand is flour. Doesn't matter what kind, whatever you like to use. If you like einkorn, if you like whole wheats, if you like all-purpose, if you like self-rising flour. Flour is something that you need to have on hand. Number 2 is a sweetener. That could be sugar. Typically I use maple syrup, but at a time when we couldn't use the refrigerator, maple syrup wouldn't be so good. Honey, if you use honey, could be good. Sugar could be good. I think molasses has to be, or molasses maybe doesn't have to be refrigerated, so that's another sweetener. So that's number 2. Number 3 is baking soda, baking powder, things like that that would give you something to rise, because if you've got your baking soda, your flour, your sugar, things already listed, we can make breads, we can make a lot of things. So we're going somewhere here. Number 4, yeast or sourdough starter, something like that that's going to allow your food and your baked items to rise. Now, some people are not able to find yeast at this point, but a sourdough starter would be good. And I found a really easy and simple sourdough starter recipe here. And I really wanted to see if I could make it plant-based. So I am gonna, maybe I'll come back in another view. Let me know if you guys want to see me do a sourdough starter. And if so, I'll do that. Number 5 is oils, fats. So thinking coconut oil, think butter, vegan butter, olive oil, grapeseed oils, things like that. Butters, vegan butters, to think about those, they have to be refrigerated. Again, we're thinking if we don't have electricity, if we can't refrigerate things, then the butter's kind of not going to work. But something like an olive oil, something like a coconut oil, they're really good to go there. Salt. Salt is really good. That's number 6. Number 7 is beans. If you can have some dried beans to plant, if you can have some dried beans to cook with, it's not particularly my favorite. What I recommend is canned dried beans or canning your own dried beans, because again, in a case that you cannot get water to cook these beans, you can just pop open a can and just eat it if you need to be, or you can just heat it up and stuff. Number 8 is vinegar. Vinegar is good because you can use vinegar as a cleaner. You can use it to make a lot of things. So that's something that's really good to have on hand. Number 9 is rice. Rice is good. Beans and rice. I mean, you've got yourself something good already. Popcorn, that's a really good snack. If you have electricity and you have a popcorn maker, we have a popcorn maker. It's so inexpensive, especially if you're buying, in comparison to like other snacks and things that you might buy. Now, I buy the organic popcorn and then I just put it into my popcorn popper. And it's a snack that the kids like. It's filling. You could also do a caramel corn popcorn. Maybe I should come back and do a video on that. But you can do like a savory one. You can do like a salty one, a spicy one. So there's all types of popcorn mixes and things that you can make. So it doesn't have to be just a simple plain popcorn, although there's nothing wrong with that either. Number 11 is chocolate chips and or cacao powder. So with that, you can make like chocolate chip cookies. You can make chocolate chip muffins. You can make chocolate chip banana bread. That's something we've done a lot. I may have done a video on this channel. I know I've definitely talked about it on Instagram. My personal page is Ethnic Green Living, and if you want to see more of the kids or from their perspective, they're they're Green Living kids. Number 12 is coffee or tea, and of course water. I don't particularly drink coffee, but I love tea. So for me, I have a lot of tea. But that's something that you should have in your pantry. Seasonings and herbs is number 13. if you got some seasonings and some herbs and some beans and some rice and some tea and some popcorn, flour, you can do a lot. You seriously can. Next is dairy or their substitutes. So that's more like the milk, the almond milk, the butter, the vegan butter, things like that. You could also see, you know, what powdered milks they have available in like whole milk or maybe even vegan form like that. But those are really good things to help with as well. And then for number 15 is canned fruits and vegetables. If you're able to can your own that you've grown, of course, that's ideal. Not everyone can do that. I completely understand it. So then in your case, you're going to need some canned items. It's good to have frozen. Everything I use predominantly is fresh or frozen with the exception of like my beans and olives. Predominantly, that's mostly what I buy in a can is beans and olives. But having an extra supply of, you know, maybe corn or string beans or peas or something will not hurt anyone, because at the end of the day, say it again, if there's no electricity, if there's no refrigerator, if there's no freezer, you can open up those beans or not beans, but you can open up that string beans or those peas and you can eat it and you have yourself a meal so that you guys won't go hungry. And so I've already gave my 15, but something else that I would suggest just having that you really need in your pantry is like peanut butter if you're not allergic to it, and some oats, because you can definitely make oatmeal. So with the peanut butter, you've got yourself some peanut butter sandwiches. For breakfast, you got yourself some oatmeal bites, some oatmeal bars, overnight oats. And then for your lunch, you got yourself some beans and rice. A bean and rice lunch. And then for dinner, you can use those veggies that you have. You gotta get creative with it, but I'm just saying, if this was all that you had and you couldn't get out your house, you can make it work. You can make it do what it do. So I just want to encourage you guys to, you know, be prepared. We never know what this life's gonna bring us. We never know if we'll face unemployment, if we'll you know, experience loss. Life is just changing so much and so rapidly, and we want to do our part to be prepared. And I think part of being prepared is having the things that you need. And so I think that these things, if you have these, I know for a fact you can make some meals, for sure. You can make meals, and you can make them yummy and delicious and nutritious to take care of you and your family until times pass or until the season changes where things are back on the up and ups. So I would encourage you guys, if you haven't and if you're not growing a garden, to just get, and I've inspired many mamas, they've shown me pictures, to just take a pot from the Dollar Tree or 2 pots from the Dollar Tree and put, you know, a tomato, a cucumber, or just some herbs, or do like lettuce in there. So now you can have salad, fresh salad with your beans and your rice, you know, your canned fruits and your veggies, and, you know, with some fresh bread. You can really do something good with that. So, hopefully this video helps you. Hopefully it encourages you and blesses you. And again, I always say you can do a lot with a little. So let's do a lot with a little. And so next time, I'm going to say to you blessings.